Prime Minister just wants to build a new mahal for himself.
It's a good move.
This is totally a policy mess.
What you think of the time period between jab 1 and 2 being increased from the previous 4 to 6 weeks to now finally between 12 to 16 weeks?
This is totally a policy mess which has been made by the government. See, if you see up to 30th April, everything was doing right. But suddenly when they announced that 18 to 45 years vaccination, rather a universal vaccination program, they were not prepared for it at all. They had no enough production of vaccines. Simultaneously, there was no policy. Previously, it was the central which was buying and giving it to the states. Now you just imagine that there are only a specific number of vaccines being produced by these companies. And then you are asking the states to float tenders and buy any amount.
The government's policy is sound and therefore should not be criticized. Do you agree or disagree?
I do, and I welcome the decision. They should have been taken immediately after WHO had recommended, after their own testing and analysis, that 3 months gap should be given for a Covishield vaccine. And I was surprised when Government of India just said 6 to 8 weeks and not 12 weeks. So because Government of India has always unfailingly gone with WHO recommendations, and I did ask around, why are we not following the WHO this time? It's a good move, bit late, but jo bhi hai, it's a good step taken.
Even though it came now, I think there is a lot of sense in what the government has done, and there is also a lot of science behind it. Every vaccine worth its salt produced and distributed in the world today protects against severity of disease and death. This is a fact, this is published, and this is the real truth. No vaccine gives 100% protection against severe disease and death.
The procurement should be centralized. You will get economy of scale, you will get better rates and quicker inflow of the vaccine. We need more than 2 platforms. I've been saying this for the last 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. We will need minimum of 4 or 5 platforms. It doesn't matter which company it is, or any efficacy converting into effectiveness of more than 50-60% is good to fly. We know there are logistic issues with regards the mRNA vaccines. Those can be restricted in the major centers where you can have commercial chillers at sub-0 degree temperature. The Indian vaccines can be pushed in to the tier 2, tier 3 cities, so it's horses for courses.
Karnataka is running short of vaccines, and you want to focus first now on the 45 plus age group. And what does it say about your planning, since you announced this on the 1st of May and you are now having to suspend it?
Sir, above 45, we are now vaccinating. Each day we are providing 1 lakh doses, sir. Below 45, between 18 to 44, we are providing every day 30,000 doses of vaccine, 30,000. So we had a stock of nearly 7 lakhs, and in that we have spent already around 1 lakh vaccines. Remaining 6 lakh was in store, and we were assured a supply of around 15 lakh doses we were assured, and we had no problem. Only thing is how many doses are we going to give each day was the question. So we started with 30,000. Gradually we want to scale up and ensure as and when the numbers can be increased depending on the commitment by the supplier, how much is going to supply. Based on that commitment, we want to escalate it.
Do you blame the fact that at the moment Covaxin and Covishield are simply not being able to meet the growing demand for vaccines?
The whole issue has been that the central government has not been able to plan its vaccination program as per the size of the population of the country. When we started off vaccination, if I remember correctly, the 2 vaccines which were permitted by the national body, approved by the national body, was on the 2nd and 3rd of January. And on the 16th, we started off the target to start off vaccination for the frontline workers and the healthcare workers. We were aware that we were targeting to vaccinate 80 crore people, which meant we needed 160 crore doses. And the production capacity of the country was 7 crore in a month. It is a matter of the Government of India not having planned to have ramped up the production from day 1. When you were aware that this was the situation and 160 crore doses were needed, so the time to have ramped up production is not today. It should have been then itself.
No photographs, no videography. Why is the government doing that if there is nothing to hide and the government is so confident about the project?
I think there is a degree of oversensitivity happening regarding the project. Some overzealous security men. The idea of this building, Gaurav, if we explain, is that the government wanted to meet a deadline, that by the 75th year of India's independence, we can have a new building. The point here, Gaurav, is, are deadlines for a building more important? It may be of any significance, historic or democratic,
Okay.
or deadlines for vaccinating people need to be moved forward.
Congress says that money that was meant for the assembly building will now be used to fight COVID in Chhattisgarh.
You have to be uniform in the decisions you're taking. We are doing construction of roads all over the country. In fact, we're doing it at an unprecedented rate. So it's not like construction has stopped. You cannot say that everything in the country is going to come to a standstill. A 900 crore hostel for MLAs in Maharashtra is being built while we speak. Even Chhattisgarh, they have gone on the back foot today because the entire debate has been raised. And wait and watch, they're not going to remain on the back foot for very long, and it's going to be announced yet again very soon.
You can't say that construction work going on all over India, constructing highways or metaling a dusty road in a village is the same as the symbolic and the metaphorical importance of the Central Vista project, which is actually an act of complete arrogance and vanity. I mean, the colonialists did that. The colonialists used architecture as an instrument of intimidation, of authority, and of control. That's how they built, all the grand monuments that you have. That's how they built New Delhi. That's what happened all the while pandemics and famines were going on.
The Central Vista project is the most ill-designed, ill-conceived project. And it has not even gone through the due process of environmental clearance. It's one of those things, the Prime Minister just wants to build a new mahal for himself. Having said that, I find this the most bizarre argument that the project is continuing because they want to provide employment to the laborers. What stops them from giving direct transfer of 6,000 or 10,000, whatever is in their budget, directly to the laborers? In Delhi, we've given 5,000 rupees to every construction worker that is registered with the Delhi government.